And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the galaxy. It's I, John D. and Kanika, a.k.a. And Too Much Podcast. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
That's a good question. I think I'm doing fantastic. And this morning I donated plasma. I've hit my 80th donation in the fiscal year, and I have 10 more donations before I become platinum. And I started thinking like, am I really okay, or am I just moving around? Because I started thinking about the way that people look at me, and if I'm not smiling, how do I look like I'm happy? And how am I doing? I really feel like I'm doing fantastic, but I don't know how to get my body to look. You know how some people, when they get nervous, they laugh or they look dorkish or whatnot. In my regular, everyday face, I want to look like I'm good, and I don't know how to do that. But I want to practice looking, because I really do feel that way. Mm-hmm. And I know that some people always got something going on in their life. And I believe that. But I'm not one of those people. And I want to reflect that. I want people to be able to say, why does he always look like that? But I was thinking about that this morning. Am I really doing good, or am I just telling people I'm doing good? Yeah. Anyways, but I am.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's shades of, just like it's shades of gray, shades of good. I feel like you trade off this for that. You can still be good, and this may not be awesome, but this other side might be really good for this week. So it's not like you're telling a lie.
No, like when I tell you, like, I'm not bothered by anything, like, other than the fact that I don't know how to respond the most appropriately. Outside of that, I feel like everything is going great. Like, I still look forward to being around you, and we're around each other a lot.
Hey. A lot.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and like I'm around the kids. Like I enjoy work. I don't feel like I'm going into like the plantation when people be like, I'm going to work. Like, I feel like I'm going to make some changes in the environment, and I feel really good at it. I enjoy talking to people. I love learning. So I know, I don't think you like, so, okay, how about this? I know you want to talk about something, but I want to ask you, do you think I'm lying, or do you think that maybe, no, okay, not lying. Maybe that's a strong word. Do you think that I'm clouded? Like, I got wool over my eyes? Like, I'm not, what do you think it is?
No, when you come home, you're pretty much pleasant. I think the only part of work that you bring home is when we like debrief. Mm-hmm. And even with that, it's not like, I don't see like a big emotion. It does look like, once you're done debriefing, that's the end of that for the day. So no, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, like, but I, sometimes.
That's impressive though, because some people can't turn it off. So.
Oh, I know. I used to be one of those people, but even before, I could turn it off, but I didn't give my all at work.
True.
Now I feel like I'm on purpose, like everything. When I'm talking to somebody, like, I'm trying to learn something from them, or I'm trying to give them something so that their day could feel like the way I feel. Yeah. So, yeah, I just want you guys to know, like, I'm out here trying to share my energy, because life is so much more pleasurable with the way that I feel these days.
That's always good.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
I love when people talk about their energy.
Too bad I haven't rubbed off on you.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You said you like when people talk about their energy. Like,
yeah.
I feel like this all the time. Like, I always like.
No, I mean, but that doesn't say that I don't know what you mean by that, because like, I just like when people talk about something about, like if you say, oh, I'm happy today, or today's a good day, that's different than energy to me. Energy is deeper, and it radiates from you.
Maybe I don't
things
give
like
you
that.
what I give the people. I need to do a better job. Maybe I should, like, when I see you standing, I should just come and then like rub all over your body and kiss the back of your neck and say, I love you. But then when one of them, yes, love me, daddy.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely exchanging some energy. That would be changing some energy up in the room. That's true. You know, it's weird. I'm thinking to myself about energy and just like personality and how we connect now. I had this thought about us and energy, sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were talking about, as we're getting older, our idea about frequency and quality and what have you of sex in our marriage, what's important, what's not, or what have you. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're looking for different things in our sexual experiences with each other. We're both looking for connection. So you know how I was telling you, like, there's connection. Some people think of sex where it's just like trying to get this urge out of their body, or they see someone and their body looks good to them, or whatever the case may be. When we used to have sex when we were younger, it was fun. You would do different things that, like, I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And it felt like it was a way of getting out all of this, like, I'm so attracted to you type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we got older and we had our kids, it was like, I don't know how it felt for you, so I'm going to ask you that. Mm-hmm. But for me, it felt like there's an urge and I need to get it out. I got so many things going on, but this is the time, so let's get it out. Or I felt like you wanted it, and I'm like, I'm really tired, but we about to like rub one out real quick, and we're going to be good. So then this past week we were talking, and I was telling you, maybe it wasn't this past week or what have you, we were talking about connecting, and I was like, I feel like we stepped away from conversations about sex. We stepped away from all of that, and it was like, I was saying to you, I really feel like our sexual experience with each other only ends if I know you've climaxed and everything and you're spent. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying to me, sometimes that's just not what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I want to give you what you want. But sometimes, so in my head, I was like, okay, so that can't be my, it's done and we're both satisfied thing. But that used to be my barometer. Like, if you were done and you were spent, then I was like, okay, so everything is good. But when I was talking to you and I was like, with me, it's a connection. And I noticed that when we're having sex and it's about, because I've approached you like, let's do this or whatever, it's very heavy on the foreplay, very heavy, which I love. And then it's like at the end, well, when it gets down to actually having like coitus sex, penetration or what have you, it's more than adequate for me, but it's less of the foreplay. Whereas when you initiate, it flips the other way. The foreplay is less than the actual physical penetration part of the sex. And in my head, I was thinking to myself, like, this is how I like to connect with you. It is. When you approach sex and it's less foreplay, I feel less connected. But when there's less of the foreplay and more of the actual physical penetration of it all, it feels like you're far more like,
into it.
yes,
engaged.
yes. And so it was interesting to me because I'm wondering, how do you experience, I enjoy both of them, but my connection and like the energy I feel like I feel like I'm releasing. I don't necessarily, even with you, the energy you send to me when there's more foreplay, it feels like it's so you're taking care of me. Mm-hmm. So and the other, when it's coming from you approaching me about sex, the energy is like desire.
Yeah.
That's what I get. And so I'm wondering, how do you experience those two with me?
Okay, so I never thought about that with you. I know I can explain how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that way. Before, when I was young, I didn't realize how exciting I was.
Like how exciting you were?
Yeah, sexually.
To me.
Period. Like, I know that I was sexually exciting to women now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't just you. Like, I did that to everybody, though, because I just thought, like,
I feel so special right now.
No, I need you to understand, though. Like, before,
okay.
Like, I just felt like that's what you did when you had sex.
Right.
So now I understand why everybody was gravitating toward me, because John wasn't just having sex. Like you said, when you have sex is, it's less foreplay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like you get all of this, So thinking back, like, I didn't have to worry about an erection. Mm-hmm. Like, so now, like, when you get all the foreplay and all of the, like, you're gambling.
What?
Like, because I have an erection probably. And the more foreplay I do, I don't get more excited, and my libido tends to dip because I'm not doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing at this point. Because honestly, an erection is supposed to you're supposed to have sex. Mm-hmm. It's not sitting around waiting. So now that I'm older, my libido is really low. So I can give you everything that you want, but you can't expect me to be able to perform always, because that time is past for me. Like, my body. It's not like that. I'm still there with you. That's why I'm like, when you say, no, I want you to come, I'm like, maybe we should just focus on you. It's not that I don't want to be there, but it's like, are we going to have this conversation? But I guess we should have had one, because if you already know where I am, then you don't have to feel insecure, like, oh, he's not attracted to me or anything. Because I do remember in the past where I'm like, no, it's really not you. Like, it's not that.
Right.
And so when you get less foreplay, it's because I already know that I'm ready. Mm-hmm. My job is to get you ready as fast as possible before my time passes. There's a time period that I'm like, gosh, I hope that, like, even in my head, like, I'm like, I haven't had sex in a long time. You shouldn't be. Then I'm like, is it a mind game with me? But I think it's just the age thing. It might be some mind, but, just having conversations with me, and not like recently, but my experiences. I mean, most men who are participating in intercourse on a regular basis are taking medication. So I remember where I could pop in like a Yohimbe. That's extract bark that speeds up your libido, for those of you that don't know. Like, then if I did that, I didn't have to worry about anything, because it was just going to be ready to go. No matter how long it took for you, when you were like, okay, I'm ready, like, it's ready. But I can't do that. So it's like, either you're going to get this good loving this way, right, or you're going to get this good loving that way. So in my head, I'm just trying to make sure that I satisfy you. Because to me, I feel like even before, this is the honest to God, like, after, like, maybe right before we got married or something, I didn't care about, like, releasing as much. I just wanted to make sure that you were good. And, like, I guess it just got to the point where, like, I know that I can, like, cause mine is just getting it out.
Right.
Yours isn't. It's more It's more the experience. You know what I'm saying? So most men haven't developed that experience thing. Like, I want to experience every time. It's more so just trying to get one out. And I'm not saying that there aren't men out there that look for experiences like that, but the way that I grew up, it was all about just getting it out. It wasn't about like I can count the number of moments where I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just trying to get it out. No matter what you felt like, I wanted you to feel like this was the best experience of your life. For me, I just wanted to get it out. You know, so that was me, and that's the reason, that's the difference when, you know, like when you initiated, and then when I initiated, I need you to know, like, okay, can I get there for him? If not, I'm gonna have to tell him no, but it has to happen. like you know, like you can't be like it got to the point, like, remember you used to be like because you were asleep or whatnot, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna spend the rest of this time trying to wake her up. Yeah. You know, so I guess I'm gonna have to make some decisions, you know. So like, it ain't like I got like this time block, like, you know, it's just, am I there or am I, like, so that's the way I go into it. Like, so let's say if you initiate it, my intent is to get one out completely. But if it don't get there, it doesn't ruin my moment. I just feel like I need you to be like, okay, I'm sorry you didn't get yours out, but you did a great job. That's all I care. I don't care about, like, even if you don't care, if I, like, because I need you to know my intent is to do that.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with you. You can't do more. Yeah. Because if you could, I would say, okay, do this.
Right.
But I don't say that because I already know that it's probably over.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's just, I don't know. I guess no, it does. And I want to say that as a period, because I understand. So then let me ask you, what energy do you get from me? Do you receive any energy from me or get a feeling from me at all? Or is it like, are you all caught up in whatever you're doing at the moment? Or like, what is that for you?
There have been times where my intent was to see how I could get you without barely touching you. You know, I definitely know there's, like, I know how to do that when I can barely touch you or whatnot, but it's very difficult for me to do that because I know that I got a time block. But I know that when you get there, I can feel that energy. So it's almost like when I do that, I have to say, nothing's gonna happen for you. Okay, you got to just get her there and make her enjoy the like. So I remember figuring certain things out about you, and I enjoyed that. But it's really difficult now. It's easier because we're having this conversation. Like, if you know I'm doing that, I don't want to be harassed about I haven't come.
Right.
Like, and I know, like, I don't, I'm like, no, I'm good. And like, don't worry about it. But that's not enough for you. It's like, no. And I'm like, hey, I'm really good.
Back up. But you know, that's because I learned early on, and apparently I was miseducated, that's where it's ending. If you didn't do that, then that means that he's left unsatisfied. He's unsatisfied. You need to do more. You need to change your position. You're going to have to do some extra oral. You're going to do something. But
now it makes sense.
He better get exactly what you got in order for it to be like fair exchange ain't robbery, right? So it's like,
did you have guys that felt that way, like made you feel like that, or is that just something you thought?
You know, a few things. So with guys before, it was they were out to get whatever they needed to get done. It wasn't really about me. But also, when you watch movies, because that's where all of the real stuff is, right? When you watch movies, it's like they share the moment of having an orgasm, or she has an orgasm and then she flips the stage, and now it's her focusing on him, and then he's fully fulfilled, and then they're spent at the end, and everybody's just laying there and just, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in the moments in which, or the instances in which, especially when we were younger, when we had that, to me, it wasn't, I felt like that's how it's supposed to be for forever.
Yeah.
Like, if both of y'all don't come out on top and everybody feels like they're fully fulfilled and spent for the night, then that means that somebody's job ain't done. And it's even funnier because there have been times where you've finished before me, and then you'll start working on me, and I'm like, no, it's okay. And I really mean it. But if you say it, you don't mean it. I need to keep going. It's crazy because right now I'm thinking about it. There have been plenty of times that I'm like, okay, it seems that he's really happy and he's really satisfied and we're good. Like I've literally had pleasure. I've just not had an orgasm, and that's fine. But in my head, movies and my previous experiences where I was really young.
Yeah.
And of course, guys were very, very selfish with sex, in their younger years. And so some of them maybe still, but that's how I was taught.
So childish.
I was bad. So, but I'm saying.
No, I'm saying
oh, yeah.
men being selfish, that's
it's
childish.
Childish. Yeah. But in my head, that is what I was supposed to do. And maybe, I was getting a message that other women weren't getting, or men didn't know women were getting, or whatever the case may be. But that's how I thought it was supposed to be. Both of us, in the end, we're going to be satisfied and it's good. And for me, satisfaction didn't necessarily mean an orgasm. But when I think about my past with you, that's how I feel like it's supposed to be. And so, I remember when we were younger, I used to be like, again. And then we would go at it again. And you didn't have any problems. And then after a while, you were like, please, don't say it. Yeah. You would go. So it's like, I don't really know how much of when you were reacting like that was because of me. And it's just like you said, it's not you. And women we tend to think. It's a lot about desire. It's a lot about how our body changes.
I wouldn't put my body, I wouldn't put my body in a situation unless I wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. So if I'm in a situation and it can't happen, it has nothing to do with you. Yeah. Like, I'm not going, like, if I'm not attracted to you and I don't, like, I'm not going to, like, put myself in a situation to be, like, embarrass myself or even you, like, so that is crazy that I didn't even know that you thought like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I was just noticing, over this past week when we were having conversations about connecting, like, and how it means something different. And, I was really paying attention this week, and I was like, oh, so this is like his experience and this is my experience. And this is how I feel when my experience is happening versus his. And when you started talking about energy in my head, I'm thinking, what does he, number one, it's like, I know that you're satisfied, but what is it that you're feeling when we're talking on not on a physiological level, but just energy-wise and exchanging it? Is there anything that feels different to you now than when we were younger, as we're getting older and sex feels like it means something different?
So I thought about this too. I recently thought about like the relationships I had with other women before you and the ones that I kept during our marriage. And I was like, I couldn't see myself being with anybody. Like, I felt like everything happened for a reason, because the way that our relationship was, the sex was exciting. It was. I want you to know that. Like, in the beginning, like, as inexperienced as you were, you got on the curve. Like, you were like, it was exciting. But but not only that, I just was thinking about when we weren't doing that, we enjoyed each other's company. We talked. And like, I know that, I don't know if you remember, but in Abu Dhabi, I told you we don't talk anymore. And he's like, John, we talk every day. And I was just like,
yeah, what do you want to eat? Clean that up.
And that was the part that I can say now. When I said that, it was like, I didn't get that with other women. You know what I'm saying? Like when I looked at other women, I like, maybe it was rare that we would talk like that. Mm-hmm. You know, so in my head it was like, okay, because just like yesterday, something made me like think about, like, if men didn't have sex with women just because they were attracted to them on their physical appearance, they would probably make less mistakes. But the distractions of outside, thinking that you'll be attracted to their inside, is almost like a pointless game. So with you, my energy towards you, like, I feel like it's still exciting. It's just, I got a low libido physically, but mentally, like, I enjoy talking to you. So there are times where, I feel like maybe you're doing something that I don't like, but it doesn't, it like, I still want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't want you to talk. I thought that would make you laugh.
You gonna have me spit out my teeth.
No, but I'm saying, like, I feel like, and I want you guys to know this. We do record because we believe we have information that could help others, but we have great conversations without recording. Like, sometimes I wish there was some type of thing that would just turn on when we talk, because we have regularly good conversations, whether it's our relationship, parenting, things that's happened at work to get a better performance, how to look at something. Like, it's always areas to where I feel like I'm totally engaged with your perspective. So my energy for you, like, it's something I can't explain. Like, it's one of those things like this. People want this connection with somebody. They want it to be their best friend, and they want it to be their spouse or whoever they're living with. And I feel like I have that, and it makes me feel it's a different stability. Like, no matter what happens to us, like, I think you'll always love me. Like, and you will want to be, as long as I continue to do what I'm doing. I feel like if I got comfortable now, you're comfortable with the John that you have, but you already know who I'm not trying to just remain this person, but I feel like I enjoy you. So I enjoy you so much, I'm driven to become better because I feel like you can get a better version of me. That's the energy that I have when I'm around you. I feel like she's going to understand that relationships can improve. Like I told you before, thinking about relationships that I've seen, I don't hear anybody talk about their wife like I talk about you. Nobody. And I'm not saying that they don't love them, but I don't hear anybody that's around their wife like I do, other than a few, but they complain. Like, if I didn't want to be around you, I could easily go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the energy that I have for you is still the same. Like, I'm really attracted to it. I feel like it's grown in other parts, because before, we didn't, like, now we talk about everything. So yeah, I'm drawn to your energy because I feel like I can always learn something. Yeah, I feel that way.
Thank you for that.
No doubt. Anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
I want to give an opposite of a shout out to all of the fake movies that made me feel like I was supposed to break my back trying to get men to finish off. It is not really necessary. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I mean that it's not always going to look like that. Sometimes there will be times, like, it didn't even show that women, the only time it showed that women were like, sex was over and the women didn't climax, and it was like the woman was like mad over at the side because a man done rolled over and fell asleep and stuff. And that's not really always how
well, see, so I want you to know, though. So you can't say that because I told you that I was really good at sex. Yeah. So no, this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I do know men that did those things where women was like, oh, he would. Right. Yeah. So I don't want you to think that men.
Well, for my situation, I feel like I was miseducated. But I want to give the opposite shout out to all the movies that made me feel like
spreading false lies.
Yeah. That sex always had to look like that. That there had to be a fair exchange every time. Because you know what? Sometimes you just don't have the energy. Sometimes he just doesn't have the energy. Sometimes it's just not there. Sometimes you're doing it for them because you know they need it.
Oh, you think it's false advertisement?
Heck yeah. And I think it creates these expectations that some people feel like a failure if they don't meet them every time. And that's not realistic and it's not human. And so I want to fake shout them out. And yeah, I think that's where I am with that today.
No doubt. I want to give a shout out to all of the responsible people having sex where you're complimenting your partners, considering the energy that they have to give to you. Shout out to you guys who are doing it responsibly. Those of you that are looking like movies and getting yours and watching your mate just roll over pissed, get your game up. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose. Boom.